mimpi Indonesia bersih.
Halo, kita sekarang lagi ada di Jerman di salah satu pameran minuman yang terbesar di dunia. Di sini ada anggota Adupi dan mereka ternyata mengolah recycle plastik sehingga bisa dipakai lagi dan dipakai lagi. Acara ini namanya DrinkTech ya. Kita lagi di Munich atau Munchen dan di sini di sebelah saya ada Bu Christine dari Krones. Krones ya? Krones. Jadi nanti Bu Christine akan cerita teknologi apa yang bisa disupport oleh Krones untuk meningkatkan IPR, pelaksanaan IPR di Indonesia. Silakan Bu Christine.
Baik, makasih banyak Ibu. Senang sekali bisa diberi kesempatan untuk boleh menggambarkan sedikit ya Ibu tentang bagaimana keseruan kita di sini di DrinkTech. Jadi mungkin yang bisa saya sampaikan adalah satu kata kunci yang ada di Krones kita ini adalah dengan sistem closed loop. Jadi tujuannya adalah untuk membangun ekonomi sirkular bagi plastik dan sumber daya lainnya dengan memungkinkan daur ulang dan penggunaannya kembali. Nah, sistem ini mencakup berbagai proses mulai dari pemulihan material hingga manufaktur untuk produk baru. Nah, pada DrinkTech kali ini buat mungkin teman-teman yang nggak punya kesempatan hadir di acara DrinkTech ini, mungkin kita mau memperkenalkan satu karena sebelumnya di DrinkTech yang sebelumnya kami memperkenalkan konsep Line of the Future. Di tahun DrinkTech yang kali ini dia sudah bukan future, dia ada, dia sekarang nyata, dia ada di sini. Kita menyebutnya benar Ibu Injinek ya. Ini ya, saya jelaskan Injinik ya Ibu, ini luar biasa ya. Jadi Injinik adalah kombinasi antara CAPEX dan OPEX di mana Krones memberikan garansi output finish product di atas palet. Nah, konsep ini komprehensif terdiri dari 3 komponen. Yang pertama itu mesin itu sendiri sebagai CAPEX, itu ya, Krones kan kita teknologi yang terdepan di dalam juga modular dan siap untuk menghadapi masa depan ya Ibu. Nah, kemudian yang kedua dia terhubung dan aman. Terlihat secara digital dan dapat dikelola dari jarak jauh. Nah, ini yang relate sama OPEX ya Ibu. Kemudian yang ketiga, ini juga yang relax sama OPEX, yaitu Krones bertanggung jawab atas output dan biaya life cycle. Nah, saya sekali lagi mau menggambarkan kira-kira kayak apa sih kita di sini, di apa yang kita display di DrinkTech di sini. Jadi di tengah kami kita ada simbol namanya Infinity, yaitu lingkaran yang tak terbatas sebagai simbol dari Krones Injinik yang holistik. Nah, kemudian di sekitar lingkaran itu, Ibu, itu kita tampilkan teknologi dan inovasi yang berfokus pada proses canning atau PET atau kontainer yang botol beling juga. Kemudian ada processing, juga ya tentunya recycle plastik itu sendiri ya, dan juga ada yang menarik yaitu ada selain kita juga ada teknologi untuk produk-produk yang sensitif ya kayak untuk aseptik, juga ada proses alcohol free beer. Nah, ini dengan proses produksi yang lebih cepat dan efisien. Mungkin kira-kira seperti itu, tapi saya ingat lagi ada satu lagi Ibu, ini juga yang menarik ya. Jadi kita tuh punya water treatment ya, ada solution untuk water treatment yaitu dia filtration yang terdiri kan berlapis-lapis ya si filter itu sendiri. Nah, kalau diukur lapisan filtration itu surface-nya itu bisa sampai mencapai 2 kali area Jakarta ya, atau kira-kira 10.575 km square kilometer. Jadi ini sangat luar biasa. Saya juga mungkin mau kasih kesempatan kepada kolek saya, Lukas, yang memang stay-nya di Krones Jerman di sini. Mungkin bisa menyampaikan tambahan lagi, Lukas. I was saying about how is our Krones solution with the closed loop system and how can we support the circular economy.
Thank you, Christine. Quick introduction from my side. My name is Lucas. I'm working for Krones Recycling GmbH. I'm heading the sales team for the region Asia Pacific. And good question how we can contribute to closed loop system to provide our recycling solutions for a closed loop environment for the plastics. So what we do in Krones Recycling is we developed a system for a bottle-to-bottle recycling, especially for PET. With this system, we can treat the material from the very beginning, the bale-in feed via the grinding, via the washing, and finally into decontamination and extrusion, where we then can produce food-grade bottle-to-bottle recycled rPET material in the end. Our systems are not only limited to PET, we also have solutions for other plastics like HDPE or PP, as well as solutions for hard to recycle plastics like flexibles or multi-layer materials.
Thank you so much for your kind introduction, Ibu Christine and Pak Lukas. And I would like to ask Naman, Pak Naman, as my partner business in Indonesia. And can you introduce yourself and what are you doing with the recycling industry in Indonesia? And what do you think, what is the future for the recycling Indonesia? What is the related to the EPR and what do you see about that?
Well, thank you so much for having me here. I am Naman and we have set up this facility with the name of Bumi Indus in Indonesia. It's been already 3 years since we have been operating in Indonesia with respect to recycling food grade, recycling the post-consumer PET bottles. So the journey has been quite overwhelming so far. Being a foreigner, people have welcomed me with warm hands everywhere, and the working culture has been extremely good. The good thing about Indonesia is that the hygiene perspective of Indonesians as the citizens is very good. So that reflects in the bottles that they dispose of. And genuinely, the quality of the bottles that are being put into the system of recycling in Indonesia is comparatively better, of course, as we talk about the Asia. And so this makes the job of recyclers, of course, easy. However, there are quite a few challenges that we have to face, and that we have to overcome with the time. Of course, the top of the head is the awareness with respect to how PET is good and the kind of bad name that PET gets under the umbrella of, let's say, glass lobby or paper lobby. It's quite unfortunate, because I think the more and more digital media is growing and the social marketing is growing, Indonesians are getting quite aware with the fact that how PET is perhaps the best polymer that has ever been developed, and how eco-friendly and how the recyclability of the PET is really helpful. As far as the industry is concerned, I believe we have been growing well. Awareness is quite much there. Government is also taking a lot of data points from across all the stakeholders. Collection rate is also improving. However, there still needs to be a good push from the government that needs to be there, because in my personal opinion, what I believe is that not all brands, but majority of the brands do want to use recycled PET. But the question is that what is holding them back? The biggest reason that I believe that why brands are still resisting is that if it does not become mandatory, then it becomes very, very incompetitive project to take up, So if it gets mandatory for everyone, I'm sure Indonesian companies are very much ready to introduce recycled content in their packaging. in my opinion, as far as recycled PET is concerned, Indonesia already now has quite a few good, popular, big names who have already invested heavily. The infrastructure is superior. The collection system is growing as and when we are, every day. So I'm very positive about Indonesian recycling industry. However, I believe it could be a little better if government plays a still more. It just gives a further oxygen to this industry in terms of facilitating the brand owners to push more. And I'm grateful that I'm in Indonesia, and I'm very, very honored and excited in terms of taking this industry and business further.
Thank you, Pak Naman. You mentioned about the regulation from the government should be the incentive for the recycling industry like you. And I would like to ask Lucas how the Krones technology can be the supporting system for this. Because as we know right now, many competitors comes to this industry as well because they see the potential in this industry. So what is your specialty and what you can offer to recycling industry that we can make more efficient or higher quality, or what do you think about that?
Thank you for the question. And as Naman already mentioned, the EPR law and the regulations would really be a very big push into these directions. How our solutions can contribute to this is that we see the market is getting more and more challenging in terms of like CapEx, but also the OpEx is getting more and more a big topic, and this is where we can contribute with our solution. For example, with our high efficient washing solution, Meter Pure Compact, where we have a very, very low water consumption for the fresh water, therefore for sure also the wastewater production reduced. We also took care that the production of fines, so all the losses we have in the recycling process can be as low as possible to increase the yield and the efficiency of the equipment. And the benefit from Krones Recycling as part of the Krones Group is that Krones Recycling has developed very good solutions in terms of turnkey solutions for PET recycling. So this is where we have our own equipment to contribute to this bottle-to-bottle recycling. And being part of the group gives us the strong power with relying on all our subsidiaries, like Christine from the Indonesian team supporting good with all the service technicians, with all the sales and office structures we have, but also with spare parts which we have, for example, big warehouse in Bangkok.
Thank you for the answer. So definitely from the industrial side, we can move forward with Krones technology, and definitely Indonesia will be ready if the EPR can be implemented as soon as possible in our country. Dan kita juga berharap bahwa EPR akan menjadi salah satu solusi dari waste management dan merupakan satu cara bagi produsen untuk mengimplementasikan to take back their own packaging and to recycle it, and also put some recycle content, memberikan recycle content di dalam packagingnya, karena itu adalah salah satu cara bagi packaging untuk lebih hijau ya Bu Christine ya. Dan bagi masyarakat yang menggunakan packaging tersebut udah nggak usah merasa ragu lagi, karena teknologi sudah bisa mensupport secara dan memenuhi kebutuhan kesehatan ya Bu di sini. Satu pertanyaan saya lagi, kalau yang untuk non-food gimana menurut Ibu?
Ya baik, kalau untuk yang itu kan seperti tadi yang tadi udah Lukas sampaikan ya, jadi selain untuk PET, Krones kita juga untuk bisa handle untuk yang PO, yang polyolefin itu kita juga bisa. Jadi kalau kembali lagi mengenai bagaimana regulasi EPR itu, kita dari sisi teknologi sangat mendukung, kita sangat positif sekali bahwa karena teknologi itu memang sudah ada dan hanya perlu diimplementasikan aja. Demikian Ibu.
Makasih Bu Christine, dan bagi audiens yang di Indonesia, sahabat-sahabat Adupi, kita semua akan maju bersama. Kita harap IPR bisa menjadi jawaban dari semua tantangan industri daur ulang di Indonesia. Dan jangan lupa memilah sampah dari sumbernya ya. Masyarakat kita kalau suruh milah sampah kan paling sulit ya Bu ya. Tetapi dengan pemilahan itu kita udah berkontribusi untuk menggerakkan Indonesia hijau, Indonesia bebas sampah di tahun 2030 sekarang, karena 2025 udah lewat ya, jadi 2030. Tapi dengan adanya challenge IPR, saya kira kita semuanya akan siap untuk itu. Teknologi udah ada, kemauan industri sudah ada, tinggal dukungan dari pemerintah saya saja. Tapi saya harap Indonesia siap untuk itu. Adupi Jaya. Thank you.